G'day, I'm Gary. I live in Southern California. It's early January 2020. It's a nice day and I'm going to harvest some of my bananas. This variety here is a Goldfinger. I've got a number of varieties and the Goldfinger is one of the shortest varieties and it's also producing the largest fruit. I have harvested before using a machete, but that didn't go well for me. I tend to leave my bananas on the plant for as long as I can, and these are ripened up pretty nice. I could bring a ladder down here and harvest it from a ladder, but then I would have to do extra work. So what I'm going to do is cut the plant itself, lower it to the ground, and harvest it once I get it on the ground. The banana corm underneath has been feeding this plant and feeding the fruit. By removing this material, the corm will be able to focus on the other stems that are growing around here. I tend to grow my bananas in a cluster. These are cool climate bananas and we're in a cooler Mediterranean type climate. We're in USDA Zone 10A, Sunset Zone 23. So these varieties and growing in our climate, I'd rather keep them in a clump because that protects the bananas from the cold air. So I think they do better if they're in a cluster rather than single stem growing. So anyhow, I'm just going to cut this. I've got a saw that I've brought down with me and I just want to remove some of the leaves. So to remove some of the leaves, I can use a pair of scissors. That's easy enough. This will just get some of the material out of the way. If I was going to use a machete, I would remove all of this. So if I remove this back, that exposes the soft trunk underneath, or the green growth. A machete will go through the green growth very easily, like butter. But if you try to cut it through the brown leaves, I've found that the machete sticks and it tends to thump the bunch around and shake it up too much. So for this purpose, I'm leaving the bananas a little longer. I could have harvested them early and had them ripen in the house, but this is my preferred way of doing it. I don't have any problem with any critters coming in. So I'll just take a cut. So I've made a bit of a notch. And I can safely harvest the whole bunch without any of them falling off. Some of them are starting to separate from the plant itself, and if I'd used a machete with the shaking around, these would have dropped to the ground, and I know my dogs are around here somewhere and they would have been able to have a bit of a feast. So anyhow, that's how I harvest my bananas here. The Goldfinger variety, if I thin the plants out a little, I would get these much larger. I don't mind having them small, so I get plenty of bananas, so I don't really need to maximize the production. And anyhow, I'm going to take these up to the house and we'll have bananas. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of our videos, you can go to our channel, Robbie and Gary, Gardening Easy. And by harvesting my bananas this way, it just makes it easier for me to do it. And all that I have to do now is cut everything down and compost it in place. With that, thanks for watching, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Ike? Banana. You want some banana? April?